that, because I know that if I didn't believe in extended family, then we probably wouldn't have gotten married, because he would have said, yeah, you and I are not on the same page when it comes to family values. I'm just giving you examples, the umbrella term of family values. I'm just giving you examples of things that you do want to be discussing with the person you are dating and considering for marriage. Another thing under the umbrella term of family values is how many children you have. Oh my God, I can't emphasize this enough. You have to discuss. Do you want children? Yes or no? First of all, okay. Now, if both of you say, yes, I want children, this and that and this, what is the timeline that both of you want to have children? Is it right away, as soon as you get married, you're like, let's work on this? Or do both of you want to wait? And if both of you say, well, I want to wait, he says he wants to wait, the woman says she wants to wait, how long are you going to wait for the marriage? I mean, in marriage before you have children? You have to decide that. Now, these discussions are just what you discuss before you get married. When you get married, some things are going to change. Yes. But the thing is that because you discussed these things before you got married, when you get married and these things start changing, you can always go back and say, hey, remember, we discussed this before we got married. That's why the premarital discussion, premarital counseling is essential. It is critical. It is necessary. Because when you get married, take it from me. I've been married for 17 years. Take it from me. When you get married, issues, expect changes and expect issues to come up. But if you never did have those type of discussions before you got married, you have nothing to fall back on. You can't say, well, remember we discussed that before we got married and yada, yada, yada. You can't say that because both of you never discussed. So do you see, marriage is not to be played with, and marriage is not to be toyed with. I am telling you, take it from me. Yes, 17 years is not a long time to be married. I mean, most of the people I know have been married for 20 years and up. So I'm just one of the babies, like in my group, in the groups that I find myself in. I'm just one of those, they call my 17-year-old marriage young. And fine, I'm fine with that, But what I'm saying is there are things that you have to discuss, and having children is one of them. Let me give you my own experience. So first of all, when I met my husband, I met him in 2005. He already had a child. He had a son, and his son was 5 years old at that time, right? So, and he was raising his son right along with the son's mother. He was raising his son. They both had joint custody. So I was going to be entering a marriage. If I agreed to marry this man, I would be entering a marriage that there already is a child. That means I'm going to be a stepmom. The heck if I know what to do as a stepmother. I didn't know what to do. So the thing is this. He asked me, he said, I just want to let you know that I do have a son. And I told him, yes, I heard you have a son, because I met my husband through one of my very good friends that I went to nursing school with. I told him, I said, yes, I heard you have a son and everything. So he asked me, will that be a problem for you? I mean, I don't know. At that time, I didn't know if it would be a problem or not. I just said no, because what did I know? I didn't know anything. I just said no, it won't be a problem for me. So what did I do? I took that information and I ran to my father. I ran to my dad and I said, hey, this is what's going on. This guy is, but by this time already, my parents knew that, they had already met my then boyfriend at that time. They had already met him, and they had done all the talking and the stuff that Africans do. So I told my dad, I said, hey, just letting you know, he already has a son. What do you think? I asked my dad, I said, what do you think? And my dad sat down and he said, So he put it back to me. My dad put it back to me and said, well, what do you think? I said, well, if you tell me what to do, then I'll do it. My father said, are you ready to be a stepmother? I said, I don't know. I mean, I'll try it. My father said, there's no trying here. He said, once you get married, there's a son already. There's a child in that. You're marrying into, a house that has a child already. There's no trial and error here. My father always made it clear to me and my sisters, because my father only had daughters. He made it very clear. He said, marriage is not trial and error. You're either in for the long haul or you don't get in at all. So I'm going to tell you a few things, not a lot of things, a few things. This is what my father was saying to me. If you apply them, God will bless you and it will work for you. So the thing that my father said is this. He said, number one, you are not that child's mother. Don't you dare. My father kept saying it. Don't you dare act as if you are his mother. Because I told my dad that his mother, his biological mother, is very much involved in his life. He said, you are not going to replace his mother. Number one, you are not to replace his mother. His mother is his mother, and you have to respect that. I said, okay. Then he said, number two, you are his supplemental parent. That's what you are. That means that son is going to have three parents, but you are number three. You are not number one. Neither are you number two. You are number three. Respect your place in that son's life and give it your best. My father said, I don't want to hear somewhere along the line in your marriage that child is crying because you did, you punished him, or you did this, or you did that to him. My father said, because my parents live maybe 45 minutes away from us right now. So my father said, I don't want to hear any negative report that you did something terrible to that child and now he's crying. I said, yes, I understand. He said, are you sure you understand? I said, yeah. I mean, that conversation was very deep. I'm only summarizing what my dad was, the information or the wisdom he was passing down to me when I told him, because mind you,